So I got asked the other day what my like scariest moment in wrestling was, and honestly, the answer is kind of weird, and it's at an event, and there was a moment that you guys probably know, but that's not the part I'm referring to. The scariest moment for me was something very, very different, and so what I'm referring to is the night we went to Saudi Arabia. The greatest Royal Rumble, I believe, was one of the first major events WWE did in Saudi Arabia. And at the time, it was Rusev versus The Undertaker in a casket match. And I, being part of the duo, Rusev Day, me and Miro, flew over there. We didn't know anything really too much in advance other than we saw it online that it was going to be Miro and The Undertaker. And then it changed, and then it changed back. And he probably has more insight on that than I do. But it was finally set, casket match in the middle of the Saudi Arabian desert. And that's all we knew. Like, we didn't know exactly how it was going to go down, what was in store until we got there. And so we got to the arena. We rode that day early with Undertaker. He's awesome. Chatted with him a little bit. And we get to the arena, and we start, like, looking through caskets for our approval kind of thing. They were like, well, I don't know. We brought a couple, which if there's one, we were thinking this one. And I know I look at it, and I notice it's extra wide. I go, oh, Miro's a big guy, but I mean, hot damn, we don't need this much space, do we? And then I go open it up, and I forget who mentioned, like, well, no, you're both gonna end up in it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And of course, you sheepishly just go, okay, because I don't think anybody knew that. I think they later found out. I think everybody found out. But I'm really horribly claustrophobic. And ever since I was a kid, so I told Miro about that, and he's a good dude. He's like, well, don't worry, we'll make sure it'll be fine. And we laid in it, thing open, fine, kind of head to foot, and made sure we all fit, and there was room to fit, but it just wigs me out when they just practiced closing it, like it comes like this close to your face, and it's just I get shivers thinking about it right now. And it just, I hate that feeling of just like closeness with with feeling like there's no escape, even though there was no real like latch or lock, and you could just push it open. But still, for me, it's just this like gut wrenching experience. But I don't know. Didn't think about it because we got to work with the Undertaker, as I knew I was going to end up being chokeslammed and tombstone and all this stuff, and I was really excited. And I was excited for Miro. I was excited for the whole opportunity. So we get to the match. It goes well. The guys are doing good. We get to the go home sequence. Miro up, down, boom. So actually, back up a little bit. We're talking to Taker. We weren't sure. Miro's a big guy. Wasn't sure if he was going to do the tombstone. We had talked about chokeslamming me for sure. Just run in, chokeslam, boom. But when he decided not to do the tombstone to Miro, I noticed he chokeslammed. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm just going into feeding for whatever at this point. And that's when he started to pick me up for the tombstone. I go, oh, we're going here. Or chokeslam first, and then he picked me up, and I'm like, oh, we're going here. Boom. Which, by the way, was fine. Everyone thought I was dead. Everyone thought I croaked my neck, scranked my neck, cracked my neck in 6 different places. It was absolutely fine. I'm a glutton for punishment, and I want things to look good. So when I set up, because like I have a little bit of room to move there, I kind of lowered myself as close to his kneecaps kind of as possible, because I always hated it when it looked like guys were like this far off. I know nobody ended up caring because it was the Undertaker and hitting a tombstone 1, 2, 3. Everyone freaking loves it. But me, I'm like, I wanted to look close. So I knew I was going to be close. So I did it. And as soon as I kind of like feel the ground coming up, I just kind of curved my head and rolled down my back and shoulders and everything. Bounced, laid out. Perfectly fine. Didn't like literally felt a little roll down the back of my head because of me, not because of him, and was perfectly fine. So put that to bed. But now we get to the conclusion, and now is the part where I'm like, okay, here we go. And he's rolling me, the casket's open. Fall in, Taker does the big boom, and I'm like, okay. And immediately, oh, I appreciate him so much. Immediately, Miro like starts grabbing. We're head to foot, so he starts grabbing my foot. He's just like, all right, buddy, don't worry, okay, it'll be okay. Just just a few more minutes. Celebration, and we're gone, and all this stuff. So hear the music. You see the lights kind of dim through the thing. Hear like I think they had fireworks. I don't even remember going off. And now I hear the people like the crew scrambling down to kind of pull the casket away, right, and roll it up the ramp. And I hear them go, oh, talking, and then they go, and they pull it, and it doesn't pull. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And they're like, and they pull, and I can feel it like hooked to the ring. And I'm like, oh God, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, they're going to leave us out here till the next match. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be in here for like 15 minutes. I'm going to die. I'm going to die in a casket, which is weird poetic justice. And finally they get it free and they start rolling us up the ramp. But at that point you can't see it on camera, but I couldn't kind of take it anymore. And so like I put like 2 fingers and opened the casket door or the top of it just a little bit. And I'm just breathing, kind of looking out at a sliver of the crowd and just like, okay, we're going to make it. And then rolled up all the way up to the top of the ramp backstage. And I popped it open and sat up, but of course no-sold it and was like, yeah, all right, that was cool. You guys, do we want to do another take? Do we want to, trying to play it up? And it was it was so silly. Everyone thinks it was a scary moment because they thought I broke my neck. But no, the scariest moment of my wrestling career is being closed in a casket for 4 minutes at best. So, yeah, highlight of my career as far as terrifying moments.